Good morning, dear student. In last video, we discussed Vivekananda's response to welcome in World Religion Conference, and today we are going to discuss the lecture delivered at 15 September 1893. Why we disagree. So, this is speech delivered at 18 September 1893, and title was Why We Disagree. So he says, I will tell you a little story. You have heard the eloquent speaker who had just finished says, let's cease from abusing each other. He was very sorry that there should be always so much variance. So, dear student, it is we can say the response to the speech delivered earlier by the another speaker, and that speaker generally trace on the matter that let us cease from abusing each other. Abusing each other means the various religions that we have in this whole world, following that religion. As far as our there are various religions prevailing in this world, and the followers of one religion generally try to abuse the follower of another religion. So that's earlier speaker trace on that matter, that we have to cease, we have to stop to abuse each other, we have to stop to abuse the another religion that we are not following. Just we are following the Hindu religion, we must not abuse the another, as Christianity or Muslim or Buddhism. We should not abuse that another religion if we have to maintain peace. That it is most important thing. We have to stop, we have to cease from abusing each other, means abusing the religion of other, the sect of other, the thinking of other, or opinions of the other. We have to just try to tolerate, we have to just let them also live peacefully. That's why it is most important matter, we can say, that we must cease, we must stop from abusing each other, means abusing the another religion. He was very sorry, he was very unhappy, he was very sad that there should be always so much variance. Variance means there are lot of religions, lot of opinions, lot of philosophies prevailing in this world, and according to him that there should not be lot of variances, that variances are creating disturbance in the life of people. So that's why he was very unhappy, that's why he was very sorry that in this whole world there are a lot of religions, and because of that variances that disturbance has created. So we should stop abusing other, we should stop misbehaving with other, we should stop the killing, the assassinations, the generally ruckus we are creating because we oppose the opinion of other religion. That such type of behavior is very harmful to the society, to the world. That's why we must stop the abusing others, the other religions, other opinions, other philosophies. But at the same time, he was also sorry because of he, according to him, there are variances, and their variances are causing the disturbance, causing the troubles in the life of people. But I think I should tell you a story. I should tell you a story which would illustrate the cause of these variances. According to Swami Vivekananda, why such type of variances, varieties of religion, varieties of opinions still exist? Because of there is some reason behind that. What is such reason? That's why he tried to illustrate, that's why he tries to illustrate that reason behind that variances with the help of story, and he tell the story about the story of frog. So but I think I should tell you a story which illustrate means explain the cause of these variances, why such type of variances exist in this whole universe, the reason behind that variances, reason behind that various religions, various sects, various we can say the philosophies and various opinions. The reason behind that, what is the reason particularly behind that? We cannot avoid the variances, we have to just cope up with, we have to just tolerate that variances. We cannot avoid, we cannot just stop that variances, we cannot just eliminate that variances. We have to just bear that variances and try to adopt, try to we can say the tolerate the feeling of others, the opinion of others, the existence of other religion. That's why he tells the story of frog. A frog lived in well. Well, you know very well, the source of water. Generally we have each and every, generally in villages we see that well. A frog lived in a well. He had lived there for a long time. He had lived there for a long time. It was born there, brought up there, and it was a little small frog. And that it is the story about that frog. That frog was born in that particular well. He brought up there. He born there. He brought up there. He just got his its livelihood there, and in that small well, and yet he was little small frog. Of course, the evolutionist, you know very well, the Darwin, the philosophy of Darwin, you know very well, that how such this whole universe was created and how the animals on this universe was evolved. That evolutionists generally study the laws of we can say the Darwin's, the theory of evolution. You the student of science, you know very much. Of course, the evolutionists were not there then to tell us whether the frog lost its eyes or not, but for our story's sake, we must take it for granted that it had its eyes, and that it every day cleans the water of all the worms and bacilli that live in it with an energy that would do credit to our modern bacteriologist. So, that frog, according to that frog, that particular frog has an eyes or not, that was the matter of evolutionist. But as far he is telling the story of frog, we must consider that particular frog has the eyes, and he was very much we can say tactful. He was very much active there in that particular well, and every day he cleans the water of that particular well from worms and bacilli. Bacilli means bacteria, and lived with an energy, and that would do credit to our modern bacteriologists. They also study the bacteria, and for them it is very good thing that they should also think about that. But in this way it went down and became a little sleek and flat. Sleek means a little flat, rounded. Because of that, he was eating that bacteria and bacilli and worms from that well, and by eating that worms and that bacilli, he becomes sleek, rounded and flat, rounded and fat. Because of that, bacteria and worms he generally used to eat to cleanse the water of that particular well, and he was very happy in his own well. In this way, it went down and became a little sleek and fat. Well, one day another frog that lived in a sea came and fell into well, and in one day that happens that the another frog, that particular frog, the another frog was born in sea. He evolved in the sea. He also brought up in the sea, and accidentally he fell one day in that well. Well, one day another frog that lived in the sea came and fell into the well accidentally. Then that the frog living in the well asked the question, "Where are you from?" That the frog born and brought up in the well, that first frog that born and brought up in the well asked the question to that the stranger frog that have come from a sea and accidentally fell into that well, and as he fell into that well, the frog living in that particular well, born and brought up in the well, asks the question, "Where are you from?" "I am from sea." And that another from that came from the sea answer, "I am from the sea." the sea, how big is that? Is it as big as my whale? He took a leap from one side of whale to other, and as far as this frog living in the whale is concerned, he was born in the whale, he was brought up in the whale, he was living in the whale. He just cleans the water of that particular whale by eating the bacteria and worms in that particular water of the whale. So he doesn't know, that particular frog, that it doesn't know about the outer world. There also exist the seas and other brooks and other rivers, and he doesn't know about all that thing that generally exist on this world. So he just asks the questions, the sea, how big is that? Is it as big as my whale? He took a leap means jump from one side of the whale to another side, and just he thinks that the whale, that sea should be the smaller than the whale. That according to that frog living in the whale, that sea should be the smaller than the whale. That's why he proudly asked the question, is that sea bigger than this whale? Is that sea so big as well? Because he doesn't know, that particular frog, it doesn't know the outer world, because he was just living in that particular whale. He was just born in that particular whale. He was just brought up in that particular whale. That's why it doesn't know anything beyond that whale. That whole, the whale for it, that whale is only his world, its world. And that's why he proudly asks, the sea, how big is that? Is that big? Is it as big as my whale? He thinks that the sea should be smaller than my whale. And he took a leap, he took a jump from one side of whale to another, very proudly. Then that by seeing his we can say his attitude, that the frog from the sea answer, my friend, said the frog of the sea, how do you compare the sea with your little whale? Because that particular frog that have come from the whale, that has come from the sea, knows everything. He knows sea, he knows whale, he knows river, he knows brook, and he knows stream. Each and everything he knows. That's why he says, how can you compare your whale to the sea? Because he knows that there cannot be any comparison between the sea, the bigness of the sea and the whale. He knows that because he has traveled to these all the things. He has traveled from the seas to whale, and meanwhile he might have been in the river, in the brook, in the that's why he knows each and everything. That's why he says, how can you compare the bigness of your whale to your sea? So then a frog took another leap and asked, is your sea so big? Is your sea so big? इतना बड़ा आपका sea है? What nonsense you speak to compare the sea with your whale? Then that that frog from the sea get little angry, a little we can say irritated, and say, what nonsense that you are comparing your whale to our seas? Well, then he said, frog of the whale, nothing can be bigger than my whale. There can be nothing bigger than these, and this fellow is liar, and so turn him out. And because the frog living in the whale hadn't seen a world beyond his whale, that's why he thinks that there is nothing, there cannot be anything bigger than my whale. It is his prejudice, we can say. It is his we can say that the firm belief that there cannot be that particular the frog that has come from the sea is telling lies, because according to him there cannot be anything bigger than my whale. There cannot be any sea bigger than my whale. There cannot be any river bigger than my whale. Why does he says that? Because he hasn't understand, he hasn't experienced the world beyond that whale. Because that's why he sees, had he seen the world beyond that whale, he would not have said that way, because he might have known all the thing beyond that particular whale. That's why it is his prejudices that there cannot be anything the bigger than my whale. So he considered the frog from the sea as a liar, and he ordered that the stranger frog, that frog from the sea, should be turned out from that particular whale. And that has been difficulty all the while. And this is the story of that whale, that frog in the whale, and that frog of the sea. This is the story. This is the, we can say, the because of the story, on the basis of the story, the Vivekananda want to say that has been difficult all while. I am Hindu, I am sitting in my own little whale and thinking that the whole world is my little whale. Christian sit in his little whale and thinks the whole world is his whale. The Mohammedan sits in his little whale and thinks that is the whole world. And I have to thank you of America for the great attempt you are making to break down the barriers, hindrance of this little world of ours, and hope that in future the Lord will help you to accomplish your purpose. And that's why Vivekananda is thanking to them, because of this conference we came to know the various religions, various philosophies, various learning all over the world. Before that we just consider I am Hindu, I am the great person. I am the Hindu religion is the great religion in this world. There cannot be great religion in this whole world than the Hindu. This is our prejudices, but that whole prejudices, that our misbelief have been destroyed because of this particular conference. That's why because of this particular conference we came to know about the various sects, various religions, various philosophies, various thinking, various type of life on this whole universe. That's why he just thanks to the organizer of that particular conference, because that conference proves to be the eye opener to the whole people, because we came to know the various sects, various religion, and greatness of the various religion in this whole world. And this is the very good lesson that we also keep in mind, that we should not compare, we should not consider ourselves as a beach, because until and unless we know the whole world, until and unless we know the more and more information about the world, we cannot say, we cannot decide whether we are great or not. We should always try to get more and more information, more and more knowledge about this world. This is the very good lesson that we can get from this lesson. Thank you. The remaining portion we will discuss in next video.